Aloha, my name is Christina. Happy New Year and welcome to my 31-day Pilates challenge. If getting into shape is on your New Year's resolution list, you are in the right place. Reach your fitness goals with this easy to follow program that takes the guesswork out of planning. All you have to do is click on the day's workout and you're good to go. I'll be doing 2 different programs depending on your level. A beginner track where we'll start from the beginning, introducing you to the fundamentals of Pilates, and a mixed level / intermediate track if you've had prior Pilates experience. Some days we'll be doing a single video, and other days I'll be taking the best of the best videos and compiling them together. Every workout will range from 15 to 45 minutes depending on the intensity, and we'll even have a stretch and restore video on Sundays. Mahalo for joining, and I hope to see you on the mat. Today is day 1 of the beginner track. If you've never done Pilates before, or if you've never even heard of Pilates before, this is a perfect place to start. I'll be going through all the fundamentals to properly progress you through the Pilates repertoire, but don't be fooled by the beginner title. It'll still be a fun and challenging workout. So come on down and let's get started. I'm going to give you a really quick anatomy lesson. There's a lot of different concepts with Pilates. Today we're going to be focusing on core strengthening. There's this idea of having a really strong core and a really strong center so you can move maybe your whole body or even your limbs from your center. So you've got different parts of your abs. You've got like the six pack that goes up and down, your rectus abdominis, which basically helps you to kind of forward fold or crunch. You've got your obliques on the sides, which help you to side bend and rotate. Underneath all of that, it literally looks like a corset. It starts back here and it wraps all the way around, connecting to your ribs and also your pelvis. It's called your transverse abs. It's very, very important to engage that while you're doing Pilates. We're going to table that idea and come back to that. I'm also going to quickly talk about neutral spine. So you've got these natural curves to your spine. So you've got your cervical spine here, your thoracic spine, and your lumbar spine. We're going to be focusing more on kind of your lumbar spine. From years of dancing, I was always really like rotated open and tucked under. So my hip bones and my pubic bone was like a little too far forward, and my back is really, really flat. So we want to find neutral. Some people are super, super archy. So they got this really sway in their low back, and they end up being kind of like archy through the rest of their body. So we're going to find that halfway point between those two extremes, and that's going to be your neutral pelvis. Depending on your anatomy will kind of determine what your neutral pelvis looks like. Someone who's got really curvy hips and maybe a small waist is going to have a very different looking neutral pelvis than I do, because I'm very kind of straight up and down and I don't really have any curves. So with those two concepts in mind, you're going to go ahead and come on down to sit. Sit however it's comfortable. If you want to sit on a chair for this section, that is totally fine. We're going to start to engage your transverse abs. So you're going to bring one hand on your belly. You're going to inhale, push your belly forward. Inhale to the hand, and then exhale, pull your belly button in. Couple more. Inhale, release. And exhale, pull it in. I think of like a balloon deflating. Inhale, blow the balloon up. And exhale, pull it in. Same thing with the sides of the waist. So hands on the sides of the waist. Instead of just breathing forward, try to expand like sideways. And then as you exhale, pull everything in. Keep going. Inhale. And exhale. So you can see I'm not breathing up and down through my shoulders. I'm really breathing through the belly. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, expand. And exhale, pull everything in. One more. Inhale, expand. And exhale, pull everything in. So there's this idea of engaging your abs and trying to get your waist smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, totally messing with your brain here. You're going to bring your hands on your rib cage, and you're going to breathe kind of sideways into the ribs, kind of like a bucket handle reaching out. So inhale, expand to the rib cage. And exhale, relax. So through the ribs, inhale, expand. And exhale, relax. One more. Inhale, expand. And exhale, relax. Because we want to get to this point where your transverse abs are always engaged as you're having a conversation, as you're breathing through the ribs. So as you kind of get better at this concept of exhaling and pulling everything in, can we bring your hands in your tummy? Can you kind of poke around and make sure everything's engaged? But inhale through your ribs. Poke around. One more. And then relax. It's going to take a while for that to really sink in. So we're just going to keep focusing and keep working on it, because the idea is you don't want to be in a plank holding your abs in, and every time you inhale, you let the abs drop. And then what happens is you start to engage your back. So things that we want to kind of work through and things we want to avoid. Okay, so let's do some movement. Lay down on your back. Your feet are maybe about like kind of hip bone-ish distance apart. You're going to find your neutral pelvis. So I'm just going to bring, you can leave your arms down. I'm going to bring my arms up so you can see what's maybe happening in my back. So I'm going to inhale, like literally arch my back, stick my booty out. And then as I exhale, I'm going to scoop my abs in and then flatten my low back, tuck my pelvis under. So inhale, rock it forward. Exhale, rock it back. Sometimes imagine like a bowl of soup or like a martini glass. You're going to inhale, tip it forward, and then exhale, tip it back. Or maybe a seesaw. Inhale, tip it forward. Exhale, tip it back. Couple more like that. So this is called pelvic rocking. Exhale, tuck. Last one. Inhale, rock. Exhale, tuck. And then kind of find like halfway between those two positions. So I'm going to look forward. My hip bones and my pubic bone are kind of like flat here. I released a video at one point where you could balance a wine glass like on your low abs. So depending on your anatomy, you might have a little bit of a space underneath, or you may not have a little bit of space. That's totally up to you. It totally depends on your anatomy. So there's all these other pelvis movements that we can do. We're just going to do that one today. Let's add some breathing into that. So can you keep this position? You can lay your arms down. Inhale, expand through the ribs. And exhale, close. Inhale. And exhale, close. Keep going. As you're breathing, just poke around your abs. Make sure that they're engaged. So you can think about pulling your abs away from your shorts or your leggings or your shirt, or maybe even pulling your belly button down to the floor, or maybe even you're like cinching into the waist, so you're trying to get your waist smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, one more. So you want to keep your pelvis in this neutral position. Try not to move it around. As you exhale, using your abs, you're going to bring your right leg into what we call tabletop. So bend to the knee, bend to the hip. You're going to inhale, drop it down. Don't move your pelvis. Exhale, the left leg comes up. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So my abs are engaged maybe the whole time. Inhale, lower. My pelvis is neutral. Nothing's moving. My shoulders are pressing down. So you're using your abs to move your legs. The tendency is going to be to use your quads or use your like hip flexors, but you want to try to stay in your abs as much as you can. Good. On the next one, we're going to bring the left leg up and hold. Good. Now we're going to try to bring both legs up to meet. Good. So from here, I'm still scooping my abs in. I'm still keeping my pelvis in neutral, trying not to arch the back. If this starts to bother your back at all, no worries at all. You're going to slide something like underneath your butt so your pelvis is tipped up higher. Totally fine. Totally up to you. Okay. That was called marching. We're going to do toe taps. Inhale, tap the right foot down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So again, you're using the abs to control the leg. Maybe even poke around. Make sure everything's kind of taut and tight. Nothing's moving. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Let's do two more each leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. One more each leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Exhale, lift. And then go ahead and just relax it down. Take a little moment. Okay. So leaving the lower body down, we're going to start working on your upper body. You're going to reach the arms forward. Think about reaching your hands so far forward towards your feet that your head, neck, and shoulders come up. I like to think that the shoulder blades are lifting off the mat versus shoulders down and just your head comes up, because this is not so great for your neck. You want to be able to curl up super high, arms are reaching forward, abs are pulled in. Can we keep this position? Try this and go back into our marching. One leg up, one leg down. Just a really short set. So abs are engaged, chest is full, our chest is lifted, arms are forward. Good. Okay, let's bring that left leg up and hold. Bring the right leg up to meet it. Good. Can you close the ribs and curl up a little bit higher? Go into your toe taps. Inhale, right leg down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, left. Exhale, lift. So energy forward. You're curling up high. It's a long time to hold this. 3 and 3. Let's try double legs. So squeeze them together. Keep it small. Inhale, the legs swing down. Exhale, they lift. Inhale, 2. If your neck starts to bother you, you need to bring your head down. That is totally fine. 3. Inhale, 4. Exhale to lift. So again, you're keeping your pelvis really still. Let's try 5 more, getting up to 10. 5 and 4 and 3. Good. 2 more and 2. 1 more. 1. And then relax. You can even hug your knees into your chest. Awesome. The next thing we're going to do is called the 100. Your arms are straight and you're pumping the arms up and down. We do 100 pumps. That's why it's called the 100. So you want to think about pumping from the back of the shoulder, the back of the armpit. So your arms are straight and you're kind of hinging from there versus like your hands are kind of wobbly or your elbows are bending. There's a breath pattern. So we inhale for 5 counts and we exhale for 5 counts. So it's going to kind of look like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So I'm going to cue you through a bunch of different options to make it harder. We're going to start with the head down and the feet down. Arms are going to reach forward and you're going to start pumping the arms up and down. Let's just kind of go straight into it. Good. Give it a breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Start to curl your chest up high. Inhale, so your shoulder blades are off the mat. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. If you can, maybe start to bring one leg in a tabletop and exhale. And then if you can, both legs are up. And exhale. 4, 5. Inhale. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. If you need to bring your legs down or bring your head down, that's totally fine. 2 more. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then relax. Hug your knees in, drop your head down, take a moment. There's all these like different modifications that we can do to make the 100 maybe a little easier or maybe a little harder, just depending on how your body feels, today. Okay, let's go into bridging. Press your feet down. They're about like hip bone-ish distance apart. Arms are going to press down into the sides. So as you exhale, find your neutral pelvis first. Then as you exhale, you're going to pull your abs in, start to tuck your pelvis, squeeze your booty, and then roll the hips up to the ceiling. So not too high. We want to think about closing the ribs, reach out through the knees, and then gently roll down through your spine. So I'm going to bring my arms up so you can see what's happening with my back. The pelvis tucks under, and think about peeling your spine off the mat. Inhale there, and then exhale, peel it back down. Awesome. Keep going. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, tuck and squeeze. Inhale, hold. And exhale, roll down. Good. So the abs are engaged. You're engaging the backs of the legs. You're digging your feet into the mat. And then your exhale, roll it down. So you have this idea of peeling your spine and your back off of the mat. And then as you roll down, think about your upper back, middle back, lower back, and finally your hips. Let's do 3 more. Exhale, tuck and lift. Inhale, exhale, roll it down. So this idea of articulating down through the spine and then up through the spine. Good. And then roll it back down. Okay, on the next one, we're going to hold. Really pull the abs in, fire your glutes, and lift and hold. We did this earlier for your abs. So we're again going to engage the abs, fire your booty, and then you're going to bring your right leg up into tabletop. Step it down and switch. Good. Keep going. So exhale, lift 3. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift 4. So you're pressing your arms into the mat. 5. You're trying not to move the pelvis. 6. Let's do full 10. And 7. And 8. Good. One more each leg. And 9. And 10. Drop the feet down and then gently roll down through your spine. Hug the knees in and take a little second. Okay, so you're working on kind of like the back of the legs, back of the hamstrings, and the more like glute max. We're going to lay on your right side and work more of the side of your glutes for glute med. So I don't have a mat today because it moves around a lot on my carpet. So you're going to line your back up if you have a mat at home with the back edge of the mat. And then your legs are going to swing forward like you're in tabletop. And then from here, the most important thing is you want to pull the abs in and then lift up slightly. So if I'm looking at your spine from the back, your spine is like horizontal or like parallel to the floor. And you're going to press your hand down into the mat. You're going to keep your feet together and then open, close the knee like a little clam. 2. So now we're working more side booty. 3 and 4. So you're using your abs to keep everything else really still. 6 as the leg moves. 7. Good. And 8, 9, and 10. Same thing, but you're going to float the feet up and do the same thing. This is called elevated clams. 2, and 3, and 4. So you're isolating the side of your glutes. 5, and 6. Really stabilize. 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Lay everything down. This is called hydrant. So kind of dog in a fire hydrant. The knee is bent. The whole leg lifts. 3, 4. You're using your abs. 5 to stabilize, but you also want to make sure that your pelvis isn't moving as you open the hip. Or I'm sorry, as you open the legs. Your hip doesn't open. Good. 2 more. 9 and 10. Good. Take a moment. Tap out your hip. All right. Now we're going to extend the leg all the way out. So kind of like my foot and my hand are in the same line. Lengthen through the spine. The leg's going to start to swing forward and back. So again, you're trying to use your abs to keep your pelvis really still. You're squeezing the back of the leg as it goes to the back. Keep your spine long. Good. 5 more. And 5. And reach. And 4. And reach. And 3. And reach. 2 more. And 2. Good. Last one. 1. And then relax. Very nice. Roll over to your back. Do a little figure 4 stretch. So cross that ankle over. Reach through. Grab the opposite thigh and hug. Ooh, it's tight. All right. Same exact thing on the other side. So come on up. You're going to flip around. So again, like your back and your bottom arm is lined up with the back edge of the mat. You're going to swing your feet forward, press your top hand into the floor, into the mat, and then lengthen through the spine. Okay, take that second, pull your abs in, and go straight into your clams. 2, 3. So again, you're using the side of your booty to lift. 5, and 6, and 7, 8. 2 more, and 9, and 10. Lift the feet up. Do the exact same thing. Elevated clams. 2, and 3, and 4. You got it. And 5, and 6, and 7. This side feels harder. 8. 2 more. 9, and 10. Lay everything down. Good. Go straight into your hydrant. So the knee is bent, but the whole leg comes up. And 4. Good. And 5, and 6, and 7, 8. 2 more. And 9, and 10. Lay it down. Take a moment. Tap it out. Okay. Make sure that doesn't kick anything. Extend the top leg out. Lengthen through the spine as the leg goes forward and back. 2, and back. So again, use the abs to stabilize. And 4, to really squeeze your glute and hamstring as the leg goes back. You got it. 6, and reach. And 7, and reach. Almost there. 8. 2 more. And 9. Good. 1 more. And 10. And then relax it back down. Okay. Roll on over to your back. Do a little figure 4 stretch. Super, super nice. And then come all the way up. Okay. So earlier we talked about your pelvis and how to find neutral pelvis. So we talked about tucking the pelvis under and then arching through your back just to find that halfway point between those two extremes. So we're going to start talking about your upper body. So we want to be able to build your plank, but a lot of your plank is, yes, about like ab strengthening, but it's also a lot about shoulder stability. So I know I'm not wearing like the best shirts for this, but that's okay. Arms are straight. So from here, the shoulder blades are going up and down. I'll bring my hair around. So the arms are straight because you don't want to be bending the elbows for this. It's more about your shoulder blades actually moving. Good. And then, so that's elevation, depression. And I'll continue to face this way as we do protraction, retraction. So it's kind of like you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and they go apart. Together and apart. So if I'm facing the side, it looks like this. So trying not to pinch the shoulders up so I get into my neck, but I think more about like the middle of the back. Good. Maybe one more. So we're going to try to find that, figure out all of that in an all fours position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. You can do kind of knees a little wide too. Then from here, try to keep your arms straight. That's like the trickiest thing about this one, I feel. You're going to think shoulder blades together and then apart. Together. Be mindful that you're not arching your back. You're still, it gets Pilates, you're still zipped in with the abs, but you're more so moving your shoulder girdle. Okay, couple more. Hopefully your brain kicked in. Because the first time you do this, you're always going to want to bend your elbows because it's like, oh, I'm doing a push-up. But your arms are fully straight, but you're moving your shoulder blades. It's like a really strange, like weird concept. Okay, so find the two extremes and then find kind of like halfway in between those two places. So if I'm looking at like a top view of your shoulders, they're not super pinched together or they're not super round, but they're in this kind of happy medium. So from here, I'm zipping up through the abs and I'm squeezing the glutes, and maybe you start to bring the legs together. So you want this kind of healthy position for your shoulders as we go into a modified plank. So if you have any hip issues or low back issues, or if your abs are like not really that strong quite yet, you will get there. You can do this up against a wall. You can do this kind of up against my little ledge. You can do this on a countertop. You can do this on your couch. If you have any wrist issues and you want to come down to your forearms, your elbows, that's totally fine. In our modified plank for today, I'm going to stay on my hands, but I'm going to walk my knees back, and then I'm going to send my hips forward. So I've got that good kind of shoulder stability. I'm not sinking, I'm not rounding. I'm kind of that halfway neutral position. Same thing with the pelvis. I'm not sticking my butt out. I'm not dropping the hips down. So I'm in this kind of like neutral spine. So you're squeezing the legs together. I'm squeezing my booty. Abs are zipped in, and I'm squeezing my armpits. So you want to think really nice and tall and long through the spine. Everything's kind of scooped in. Think about everything that we've worked in class today. So abs are pulled in, glutes and hamstrings are engaged. Find your lat muscles, and let's hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Press back into a child's pose. Take a moment. You made it. Good. Let's step forward into a lunge. Maybe hands up. Keep your hands onto the mat. Send your hips forward and lift the chest slightly. So we're stretching the left like hip flexor. If you ever need to bring your hands up higher for a little more support, that is totally fine. If you can, you're going to send your hips back, straighten your right leg, and then you're going to try to flatten your back as much as you can. Totally fine. It's a really intense hamstring stretch. Okay, let's switch sides. Left foot steps forward, hips forward, chest is open if you can. Very nice. Send your hips back, straighten that left leg, flex the foot, and kind of stick your butt and your chest out. Awesome. And then you made it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time. And until then, aloha.